Hey guys, I've got a bit of a beautiful thing for you guys today. This is Overwatch on the Nintendo Switch. Oh yes, this is absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't even look real. I mean, look at that. It looks crazy. I mean, it's real because, well, you can see Bastion. Look at his face. That's Bastion. It's real. All right, let's do this. One thing I'm going to tell you guys straight away about this is actually ridiculous. It's kind of hard to show you guys in video, but when you're playing in handheld mode, like you guys can see me playing here, it is so immersive. It is crazy. Like, I thought, okay, on the Switch, it's not going to be great, but it's mental. Look at me. That's me playing Hammond. What am I doing? I'm probably going to kill myself. I mean, okay, I am going a bit crazy there. You don't have to do that. You can change the options, change sensitivity, and all of that stuff. But yeah, I'm a bit mad. Anyway, what we're going to do in this video is take a look at the way this works. So we're going to look at the different gyro controls. We're going to look at handheld mode and all that good stuff. And hopefully you guys will be able to sort of, like, maybe I don't know. It's really difficult. Like, I've got to try and kind of give you guys the, I don't know. It's like give you guys the feeling I had when I played it. Like, I compare this to a virtual reality headset. If you guys have used a virtual reality headset in the past and your friends haven't, it's kind of like that. You need to play this to appreciate how just fun it is. So this is footage of me playing Pharah, obviously. Now what I'm doing here is I'm using Pharah with the gyro controls. So as I'm hovering in the air, you can see I'm sort of moving the Switch just a little bit, just little kind of micro movements to aim. I'm also using the sticks as well to aim as well. You can do that, and I will go into detail on the options a bit later on in the video, guys, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, it just feels really, really nice. Pharah feels super nice. Actually, she feels much nicer than I would have expected. I guess the go-to one is Hammond. This is kind of the one everybody was like, okay, this hero is going to be ridiculous. Hammond, you're just going to be throwing yourself all over the place playing Hammond. Well, you can see here, what I've done is I've increased my gyro sensitivity to about 70. So it's actually really sensitive, that is. I think standard is kind of on maybe 20 or 30, but it's much more sensitive. If you watch, like as I move the console there, like, you know, kind of moving around, sort of to aim and to swing with Hammond, it feels awesome. Like, it feels like a totally, well, I don't say a totally different game, but you know what it feels like? It feels like augmented reality. That's what it feels like. You're holding the game sort of in the space in front of you and you're moving it around, and it just feels so good. Because I mean, we've played Overwatch for years and years and years on a computer, on a PC, or on a console. You're staring at a static stationary screen. With this, you're moving, and I think that just gives you like another element to the gameplay. And I honestly didn't expect to get that. And also, I think we should talk about performance here as well. Now, it's been widely documented this is 30 FPS. It's capped at 30 FPS, and that's like, okay, a lot of people were thinking that could be a bit of an issue. But I'm going to tell you guys, and again, this comes down to, you just kind of need to play it to experience it. When you're playing it in handheld mode, you can't really tell. In docked mode, we'll get onto that in a second because I want to show you guys some more of the other gyro controls. You can see I'm kind of like moving on the screen as I'm trying to keep everything together. But in docked mode, yeah, it's obviously not going to look as good as a PC or any of the other consoles because this is a Nintendo Switch. But in terms of Nintendo Switch games, this actually is really, it looks really impressive. It's really like, I know I'm sitting here just going, yeah, guys, this is awesome, check it out and all that stuff. It really is. Like, I would not have bought this on the Switch until I played it, right? I would have been like, hey, why do I want this on the Switch? You know, why do I need it? The gyro controls are crazy. It's like a completely different way of playing Overwatch, and it's just insane. So if I haven't sold it you yet, guys, I mean, I don't really know what else I can do. But what we're going to do now is go into the options. We're going to take a look at the different ways of playing the game, and we're going to use the Pro controller and the JoyCons detached. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is the JoyCons detached. All right, so you get new options, obviously, well, in the options. So you get gyro, and you can see you get quite a bunch of things you can change here. And I've got, well, we'll go into a little bit more detail on this a bit later in the video. But what I'm going to show you here is the Joy-Con controllers detached. So this is captured from dock. So I've docked the Nintendo Switch. We're capturing the output here. What you guys can see me doing is I just reset the location because I'm moving around with sort of like the Nintendo Joy-Cons in my hand. I'm using the right Joy-Con to aim. I'm using the left Joy-Con to sort of fire and all of that good stuff. And I'm also using the stick on the right Joy-Con for sort of micro adjustments. But what I worked out with this is, as you guys can see here, what you try to do, or what I think is the best thing to do with this is, yeah, sort of use the sticks to move around generally. But when you need to do fine aiming like this here, I'm wobbling the Joy-Cons in the air. And it's actually a pretty surreal feeling, this is. Now, I think this could be a really high skill ceiling way to play. I don't think I'm good enough, right? I think I'm actually kind of bad, but hey, let's move on to the Joy-Con, the Pro Controller even. So we're going to use the Pro Controller here. And what we're going to do is something which I actually picked up on, which is actually really ridiculous. So gyro recenter camera. I bound that to the left stick push in, which unbound interact, but whatever, we're not using symmetric teleporters, we don't care. Now, the thing with that is it allows you to reset, which is cool. But one of the issues I had is I was moving with the gyro while using the stick, but there's an option for that. Look, disable gyro while using stick. And to me, with the Pro Controller using gyro, that is huge, because what it lets you do is, yeah, here I'm walking around, I'm using the sticks, it's fine. But then what I can do is when I bring up the scope, I can move the Joy-Con, the Pro Controller in the air and get these minute adjustments. And that's a really, really cool way to play the game. Again, this is something I would not have thought would have been as cool as it is without actually trying it out. So this is something I highly recommend you guys should try, but you do need a Pro Controller for this. I guess as well you could kind of use the Joy-Cons in the, the kind of adapter thing you get where you can turn it into a controller. But this, for me, is probably the way to play if I docked the Switch. But probably I wouldn't dock the Switch and I'd play a lot with, well, straight up handheld mode, because that to me is what this experience is about. But what I'm going to show you guys now is some gameplay. This is basically of me playing in docked mode with the Pro Controller, with the gyro assist turned off, or the gyro turned off when using the stick. Now, Sigma is, he's easy, right? I think Sigma's actually kind of okay to play. I just wanted to pick a tank hero. I actually wanted to pick D.Va here, but somebody else picked D.Va and it's fine. But one of the things I want you guys to look at here is, yeah, sure, you can see the movement. It does kind of look like I'm using the controller, because I'm using the controller, obviously, with the sticks. Not too much gyro, which I guess is the point I was trying to make. I think I gravitated towards using like a little bit more sort of in the way of the sticks here. There was some kind of like gyro flicks I tried to go with where I hit Doomfish just with the rock there. This is kind of embarrassing because, well, Zen kills me. It's because I forgot what melee was and it turned out it was right stick, you had to press it in. Hammond, though, on the Pro Controller is actually pretty cool. But one thing here you guys are probably noticing is look how the game, looks. It looks just like Overwatch, doesn't it? That is the mental thing to me with this. Like, I was expecting it to look absolutely trash. I'm not going to lie. I told the devs this. I was like, I was expecting this to look really sort of low budget and low rent, but it doesn't. It really doesn't. There are moments where it might sort of chug along a little bit, but it's not enough for it to really make an impact. It's honestly, it's like some sort of mental technical achievement. It's crazy. Hammond is fun, though, but I think Hammond, for me, is probably more fun when you're using him in handheld mode. But maybe the most optimal way to play is with the Pro Controller with the gyro, and just sort of, mixing between. Like, one of the things I realised as well as I was playing is you do kind of swap between, you either go for the gyro or you go for the stick aiming, but you start doing it. You see there's like kind of a little bit of an FPS drop there, but you're going to get that, right? This is a Switch. Remember, this thing is like, I don't think it's even as powerful as a Xbox 360, right? So it's just crazy that it runs on it. Like, honestly, it's crazy. But the big thing here, guys, is the gyro controls. I know I've said it a lot in this video, but the gyro controls are actually nutty, and it is crazy when you first play in handheld mode. It's crazy. Like, I see things in my head of like a bunch of friends getting together and all playing on the Switch, which is, what it's ideal for, but using the gyro controls, and it's like you get into some really funny situations because you sort of spin round on your chair. You're like, whoa, you're getting into it. It's mental. Anyway, let's take a look at Bastion. Bastion's pretty fun. Bastion is really good. He feels like, again, to use cheesy kind of buzzwords, he feels visceral. He feels he just feels like a gun turret because you're actually moving around with the controller. Like, this is the thing, right? If you didn't have the gyro controls, you're sitting there with the controller in your hand and you're just moving the sticks. Or if you're using mouse and keyboard, yeah, using mouse and keyboard. But actually having the gyro means that you sort of feel like you're manning the turret, like you are the turret, you're moving around. And that's the big thing. And it's just such a surreal feeling when you've played Overwatch for so long on whatever platform you guys have played on. Because, I mean, this is brand new. There is no gyro controls in Overwatch up until this point, and it's just crazy. I mean, like, I did show you guys the gyro controls towards the start of the video, but you can pretty much customize everything. So you can change the sensitivity on every kind of axis you need. You can invert the gyro controls if you wanted to. You can disable the gyro while the sticks are enabled. There's a lot of stuff you can do in it. It's just, they've really thought about this, and they've really made it work. It's like, this isn't just shoehorned into the game. It isn't like, oh yeah, let's make a Switch version. Because I was the guy who thought that. I was like, why do we need a Switch version? Because I know what you guys are like. most likely watching the video, you're like me, you're like, well, you know, we want news on balance, we want news on updates, future, you know, stuff, lore, events, whatever. And it's like, okay, Switch version, do we really need that? But when you play it, you're like, this is cool. And you have to think as well, what does this do for the game? Well, it opens the game up to a different audience. It opens the game up to people who might not have PCs or you know, traditional consoles, I guess we could say. And maybe they've got Switches. They can play now. Look, I mean, look at this footage. Again, this is docked. All of the footage you guys have seen, which has been full screen, has been from a docked Switch. And it's fine. Like, honestly, it's fine. It's way better than I expected. Ash feels super good. Widow feels super good. Pharah feels super good. I haven't got any Winston footage here for you guys, but I have played Winston, and Winston feels really, really good. Like, when you're playing in handheld mode, you can kind of do, like, flick jumps with Winston. So as you're running forward, you sort of, like, you hit the jump button, so as Winston boosts up into the air, you sort of flip the console. It feels so cool. It's just absolutely cool. I guess I'm going to end the video with this. If you guys were like me, and you were sitting on the fence, and you were like, well, we don't really need a Switch version, why would I play this? I have played this, and I was the guy who was like, this is just not going to be, not worth your time. That sounds a bit harsh, but I'm just going to play on PC. This doesn't really offer anything different. It does, and the gyro controls are crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Stylosa in this You Lost. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. If you have, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Apologies for my microphone. Might sound a little bit different. I'm actually having to use my my new iPhone to record my audio because, well, TSA decided to take out my audio interface and, well, smash it, basically. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Toodaloo.